Hello friends, in this video I am going to explain you how you can write a program related to student details using structures and functions. So let us read the problem statement. Over here the problem statement is assume that a class can have a maximum of 2 students. Over here I consider 2 students so that it will be easy for us to enter the detail of 2 students, and we can increase this number to any number of students. Okay, so we need over here we have to assume that the class can have a maximum of 2 students, and the information to be read are the enrollment number, name, branch, year of joining, and the contact number. So for this data type it should be our integer, and again it depends on the length of the enrollment number. So means like since integer, if your compiler allows only 2 bytes for the integer, then you need to check if your enrollment number comes within that range or not. If it is not coming within that range, then it means you have to define it, instead of int you have to define it as long int. So you need to check it on your compiler. After that, name. For name we can create a array of characters. For branch, again we can have the array of characters. For year of joining we can have integer, because our year it can be only up 4 digits, so integer we can declare it as integer. And for contact number, since like most of the time contact number they involves 10 digits, so again depending on your compiler you have to define it as long int or long int. So it all depends on the compiler, that how many bytes your compiler is going to take to store this type of a number, long int or long int. Okay, so over here this information we need to store for maximum of 2 students, and what we have to do, we have to write a program that will read and display all the information of all the students in a class. Means we need to create a program that will allow the user to enter the detail of the student, and then it should display the information of all the students in a tabular form. Okay, so first of all let me show you how we can write a program for it. So to write a program for it, it is always better, like since our student detail it involves different type of data types like int, character, and for this we need int, for this we may need long int. So it is better to group them in structure. So in the program over here I declared the structure student, and inside this I put all the information that we need to store for the information, like enrollment number, name, branch, year, and mobile number. Okay, so in this way I group all this information of the student, and then since I am using type def, so I can instead of using this struct student I can use this stud word. So this will be my structure name, stud. Now after this, over here I declare the function. This function insert, it will help me to enter the details of the student. So to enter the detail of the student I create this function, and as an argument I am just going to pass the reference of the structure. Means I am going to pass the address of some structure variable, so that using this function I will be able to store the details of the student at this particular address. Okay, and similarly when I want to display the details of all the student, I will just pass the address of the structure variable where the information of the student is stored. Okay, so this will be our 2 functions, and in the main program I just create some variables of integer type. Since there are maximum 2 students, I declare an array of size 2, so that this array of structure stud it can store the information of 2 students. So now after this, to read the data, to enter the data information of the student, I just start the loop that will iterate for two values of I equals to 0 and I equals to 1, and when the value of I becomes 2, this condition will become false and I will come out of this for loop. Inside this loop, I just called this function insert. So over here you can see that I passed the address. When the value of I is 0, I am going to pass the address of S0. When the value of I is 1, I am going to pass the address of S1. Means when it is S0, I passed the address so that the information of the first student can be stored at S0 position. Similarly, when I want to store the information of the second student, then I am going to pass the address of S1 so that the information of the second student may be stored over there. Okay, now after that, once the information is stored, then I am going to display the details of all the students. So since in an array, when we declare an array, like when I declare this array, since in an array the memory is allocated in a continuous mode, means memory that is reserved for S0 and S1, that will be one after the another. Means just after the memory of S0, memory for S1 will be there. So if I passed the address of just S0, then automatically it can calculate the address of the S1. So just if I need to pass the address of the first element of an array, so over here I passed the information of S0, and with this information all the information of the students will be displayed. Now after this, so let me come to the function definition. In function definition, in this, like over here, when I passed the address of the structure variable, so the S1 will receive the address of some structure variable, and then I will ask user to enter the enrollment number. So whatever enrollment number user is going to enter, that will be stored over here. S1 minus arrow, this arrow enroll. So since S1 carry the address information of some structure variable, so I used this arrow minus greater than sign. Okay, so with this it will just assign whatever number that user has entered, that will be assigned to this. Similarly, then I ask user to enter the name, and then whatever name or whatever string user has entered, that will be assigned to S1 name. Similarly for branch, similarly for year, and similarly for mobile number. Okay, so means with this, by passing the address of first array element, means S0, I just got the information of all of the first student in memory. Okay, and now when I am going to pass the address of S1, means S bracket 1, then I will be able to store the information of the second student. Now after the insert function, now if we look at the disp function, that is going to display the details of all the students. In this, I just first declare an integer I for this I loop, and then first I am going to print this just as a heading enrollment number, name, branch, and then this is just a line after that, and after this I am going to display the detail of all the students one by one, means or detail of two students one after the another. So to display it, like I just use this /t, it is to put the one tab space between the two element. So I put this type of arrangement so that the information of the two students will be displayed in a table form. Okay, and to display the information, like to display the enrollment number, I use as I.enroll. To display the name, I put in this way, and so on. So all the details, it is used in this way. So now if suppose if I run this program, so over here you can see that it is asking me to enter the enrollment number. So if I enter say 2 and the name of the student, let it be Hemant, branch let it be ECE, year of admission 2020, and the mobile number let it be 7895 666 777. Okay, now it is asking me the detail of the second student. So enter the roll number, let me enter it as 4, enter the name, let it be here Kushal, and branch let it be CE, year of admission let it be 2019, mobile number let it be 777 Now you can see how the detail information is displayed. So enrollment number, name is there, branch is there, it is shifted little bit. So if I put another tab space over here, then this branch will come under it. So year of admission and mobile number. And now this enter one. If you want to edit any detail, this is the second part of our problem, means this part. So I will explain this to you now. So over here, like you can see that we enter the information and we are able to display the information in a proper way. Now the second part of the question, in this it is asking, like over here we need to design a program that after entering and displaying the data, our program should ask the user if user want to change any information of the student, and if it is required to change, then our program should ask the user to enter the enrollment number displayed for the student whose details we need to change. Means we need to ask the user to enter the enrollment number of the student as displayed there in the output screen, so that then after that only we will be able to edit the details. So once the user enter the enrollment number of the student whose detail user want to change, then our program will ask the user to enter the new data for that student, and after editing we need to display the entire information. So once the information is displayed, then our program should ask user to enter the enrollment number, and then our program will match this enrollment number with the details that is already stored or entered by the user. Then once we are able to match the enrollment number with the information that is already there in the program, then we will ask user to enter the complete detail of that student, means starting from enrollment number, then name, then branch, year and contact numbers. And after editing that information, our program will display the edited information. So to incorporate this thing into the program, so in the main program, like this was our main program, and like over here this loop I used to enter the details, this I used to display the information. Now in this particular thing I incorporate this thing. So I will start a while loop, and this is an infinite loop, means this will keep on iterating. And over here inside this while loop, I first ask user to enter 1 if you want to edit any detail, else enter 0. So and then I scan the entered value in flag. After this I put a condition if flag is not equals to 1, means if user entered 1, then this condition will become false and we will execute whatever is mentioned in the else. But if user entered something else or 0, then we are going to execute this break, and with the help of this break this infinite loop will end. Okay, so it is the reason that I put infinite loop. I start with infinite loop so that as soon as user enters some value other than 1, then automatically this loop will break due to this break statement. Okay, but if user entered 1, then I will ask user to enter the enrollment number as mentioned in the display screen of the student whose detail you need to change. So whatever is mentioned in the display screen, that from that user need to enter the enrollment number, and after that whatever user is going to enter, that information will be read in this enroll edit. Now after this I initiate the loop from 0 to 1, means it will iterate to get the information of all the students, and inside this for loop I will just match the enrollment number that is there in the database with the enrollment number whose detail, enrollment number of the student whose detail we need to change. So once it matched, it means that I got the student number, means I of the student whose detail I want to change. So once this condition is true, then I will just start entering. I will call this function so that the information of that particular student with whom the enrollment number is matched, so information of that particular student may be entered by the user. So I call this function, and in this function again the complete detail of the student may be entered by the user, and after entering this information, then again we will display the edited information. So in this particular over here, like it is asking enter 1 if you want to edit any detail. So if suppose I entered 1, it means I want to edit something. Now it is asking me enter the enrollment number as mentioned in the display screen, means over here. So over here let us say that I want to edit the information of this 4 of this student Kushal with enrollment number 4. So I will enter 4 over here, and then now it is asking me to enter the enrollment number. So now let me put the enrollment number of the student. Now it is asking me to enter the name. So over here, if this name is correct, so I can put the same name. Otherwise, if the name is incorrect, I can put the corrected name. Now it is asking me the branch. Now suppose the student belongs to CSE and by mistake I entered CE, means civil engineering. So I can now change this information CSE, and now it is asking me to enter the year of admission. Now let us consider that this year 2019 I entered it by mistake and the correct year is 2020. So I put 2020, and the mobile number let it be correct. So I enter the same mobile number and 9900. Okay, and now when I entered, now you can see the correct information, edited information for Kushal. Now it is CSE. Over here it was civil. Now it is 2020. Previously it was 2019, and now the mobile number is same and it was exactly same in the previous one. So means this program is able to edit the information. Now again it is asking that enter 1 if you want to edit any detail. So if I want to edit any detail, I can enter 1, and if I do not want to edit, then I can enter 0. So if I enter 0, then you can see that my program it ends. Okay, so it means that infinite loop, that while loop it got end, means it is not an infinite loop. As soon as I entered any number instead of 1, it will, with the help of this break statement, this while loop is going to end. Okay, so this is our program. Now over here, like if you we can modify this particular program. Like over here, if I want to edit the detail, so after entering the after asking the user to enter the enrollment number, and once the enrollment number is matched, means with the second student as it both matched, so after this I can also ask user to enter the detail, like instead of asking all this information again, I directly my program can ask the user like this information need to be corrected. So directly we can ask the user whether user want to edit the enrollment number or name or branch or year and mobile number, and accordingly like directly we can ask user to enter that corresponding information, correct information, instead of asking this whole information again. So in that way also we can modify this particular program. So with this I end this video, and if you have any question you can post it on the comment box and I will try to reply it over there. So thank you so much.